Chapter 5. Enjoying Pineville.
The first thing we should do to check on today is the entertainment,
Trixie said. Seeing Oculus had just left town hall and were overseeing the Millennial Sun celebration.
When the princesses raise the sun, the Wonderbolts will do a flyby to make it much more fantastic. Does that mean we're going to meet the Wonderbolts personally?
Oculus exclaimed. Before getting an answer, she started running down the street.
Oculus!
Trixie called out, getting to discuss the disguised changeling's opinion.
In this way, the Wonderbolts are also helping the weather team clear the skies.
Trixie pointed in the opposite direction where Oculus was running. Light buzz of embarrassment appeared on Oculus's cheeks.
Oh, right.
Oculus turned and started heading the other direction, following Trixie.
Watch out!
Crush! A mass of gray and yellow tumbled along the path. A dark gray tuft of mane poked up from the mass, followed by the rest of a light gray Pegasus colt got up, dazed from the crest.
Sorry about that,
the colt apologized.
I was in a hurry to meet up with my big brother. It's okay,
the yellow filly replied.
I was a little distracted too.
The colt offered his hoof to help the filly up. Once he was on her hooves, the colt noticed a black eye.
You're right. I'm so sorry. It was just an accident. Are you okay?
The colt asked, checking the rest of her body to make sure there weren't any other injuries.
It's not your fault. I got this black eye yesterday from the filly at the farm,
Oculus said. She began to blush. That, combined with the smile on her face, told the whole story.
Thanks for the concern, though. You met Apple Bloom?
The colt asked.
At least I know I didn't cause you black eye. The name's Rumble, by the way. I'm Oculus,
the full filly said passionately.
You want to come meet my big brother?
Rumble asked before puffing his chest out of pride.
He's a Wonderbolt.
We were on our way to meet the Wonderbolts anyway, Trixie said, so we might as well come with you. The three ponies went through the town to where the weather team was breaking up the clouds for a clear sky. On the ground watching was a rainbow-maned blue Pegasus with a rainbow shockwave cutie mark. Or at least, she had wings. They were obviously metal. Trixie was aware that some Pegasi got prosthetic wings if they were severely injured their wings, so they could not fly otherwise. But she's heard rumors of earth ponies and even unicorns getting prosthetic wings to gain flight. But this is most often when a Pegasus family adopts a non-Pegasus and offers them the ability to live in the sky. But in those cases, their wing dexterity is limited thanks to not having a proper musculoskeletal system to do much other than flight. The dexterity that this pony was shown to have with her prosthetic all-male wings indicated she was born a Pegasus. As for why she wasn't flying with the others was curious, but not important. Another Pegasus. She was instructing the weather team on what to do. She too had metal all-male prosthetics. I love using those words. I know, Full Metal fan. But not wings. This yellow Pegasus still had her wings. However, her hind legs were metal, like the blue Pegasus wings. And though most ponies wouldn't have noticed at this distance, Trixie saw that the yellow Pegasus wings were more muscular than average. The yellow Pegasus had a pink mane and a cutie mark of a butterfly-shaped storm cloud and a rainbow lightning bolt. Seeing as he was instructing the weather team, it was safe to assume who this Pegasus was.
Weather Captain Fluttershy, I presume,
Trixie asked. The yellow Pegasus turned her head toward Trixie before flying down and meeting them.
You presume correctly,
the Pegasus said, staying and hover above the ground rather than landing.
But I'd rather just be Flutters. That's what my friends call me.
I am the great and powerful Trixie, the prized personal prosthesis proud to say the princess. And Trixie was cut off by the sound of an amused snort.
Are you laughing at me? I'm sorry,
Flares laughed.
It's just how you introduce yourself was so funny. How could I not laugh?
Trixie blushed at that.
Well, I suppose I do overdo it at times,
Trixie reminded.
I'm also a showmare, and I tend to forget to leave my showmanship at the door sometimes.
Sometimes?
Anyway, we were sent by Princess Celestia to oversee the Sun Silver Sun celebration. I'm sorry for laughing. It's just that sometimes I can't help myself, Fleur said. Ever since I got struck by lightning point blank, the doctors have suggested that maybe a few wires in my brain were crossed. Ever since, I've been a bit of flutterbrained, but I realized that my newfound disease work well with making fools laugh.
Clue, 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 hint, 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 hint. Trixie's eyes were drawn back to Flare's prosthetic legs and put two together.
Was it
by any chance a lightning bolt from the Rainbow Storm? A dark gray Pegasus with a light blue-gray mane and a rainbow cloud thundercloud cutie mark shaped like a bowling ball asked.
Thunderlane?
Rumble exclaimed as he ran up to the Pegasus. Hey, kiddo, Thunderlane said, ruffling Rumble's mane. You're not causing any trouble, are you?
Since when do I cause trouble?
Rumble replied. The milkshake tsunami at Sugar Cube Corner, trampling a flower bed, the blindfolded Pegasus race. Thunderlane listed off.
That Pegasus race was one of my best ideas for a cutie mark.
Rumble admitted.
The flower bed was because of a marching band that chose to take a shortcut. And I suppose you know you weren't supposed to bake vinegar and baking soda into a milkshake machine. I don't know a stranger, Ugo said. When Rumble is done on Rumble's reasoning.
Don't worry, he never causes that kind of trouble on his own, Thunderlane said. Only happens when he's venturing with the Cutie Mark Crusaders. And Thunderlane went away.
I'm Trixie, and this is Oculus, Trixie introduced. We were sent here by Princess Celestia to do the introduction you gave me.
Flares erupted. Sorry, Trixie gave in. I'm the great and powerful Trixie, Trixie exclaimed. I'm the princess's prestigious personal protege, and I was sent here to oversee the Summer Sun celebration. Flares couldn't hold back her giggles. Of course, Flares would find that amusing, Thunderlane said, though the smirk on his face revealed his own amusement. Assume you're also checking out the weather's doing?
Yeah, and see if the Wonderbolts are ready for their role in the celebration.
We were preparing for weeks for this moment, Thunderlane said. It's just a flyby. Granted, it's a flyby for the 1000th Sun Summer celebration, but Spitfire's been a little too insistent on making sure it goes perfectly.
Spitfire sounds like Twilight, Ugo said. I've met her before, and believe me when I say she's nothing like Twilight. She's good at planning, but that's the result of being captain of the Wonderbolts. That's right, the sky should be cleared by midday, Fires assured. Well, it was good meeting you, Trixie said. Got the progress of the decorations now.
Heading back to Town Hall, Trixie and Oculus headed back to check on the progress Rarity had made on the decorations. Trixie realized that after this, they would be done with the list. That means Trixie could treat Oculus to a proper Ponyville experience. Rarity wasn't working on Town Hall when Trixie and Oculus left, but Rarity assured that she would start early. When they arrived back at Town Hall, Rarity was hard at work at the decorations, and Trixie was impressed at just how much she had gotten done already. So far, Town Hall was starting to look like Rarity's sketches had come off of the paper into reality. Rarity had talent just in design, but in art as well.
It seems as if you're already hard at work,
Trixie said, causing the White Mare to jump in surprise.
Sorry for scaring you.
Rarity regained her composure before getting back to work.
Please, it was not intentional. It's just an accident, Rarity said. When I get in the zone, as it were, I can tend to be surprised more easily. It's normally not a problem since my zone is typically yet to do it, I can work in private. Well, I must admit that everything is looking great so far, Trixie commented. We're playing to host the Princess Celestia herself, Rarity said, so it's my duty to make this the best it can be. Well, pretty, Iko said in awe. And how are you, Oculus? I notice you're not wearing your...
Rarity didn't pause when she just now noticed the dark bruise around her eye.
Sweet Celestia, whatever happened to your eye? She got into a little scuffle with a filly on the farm,
Trixie explained, trying not to make it sound too bad.
I see, Rarity said. Apple Bloom and Diamond Tiara have been trouble for my little sister as well. Considering that it seems that Apple Bloom has a reputation, I think any other time somebody asks about Uncle's black guy, I can just mention Apple Bloom's name and they understand, Trixie said.
Yes, pretty much, Rarity confirmed.
I left my necklace in the room we're staying in so nothing happens to it, Iko said. I don't want to lose it before we return back to Canterlot. Nonsense, Rarity exclaimed. I do appreciate the idea of keeping it for special occasions, but you're here for the Millennial Summer Sun celebration. As long as you're staying here in Ponyville, you're here for a special occasion, and you were so proud of it yesterday.
A large grin formed on Oculus' face before she ran to the temporary apartment to get the necklace.
So, where did Maud go?
Trixie asked. I'm right here, Maud said from behind Trixie. She absolutely did not jump several feet in the air or scream like a little filly.
Ah, there you are, Trixie said,
Her heartbeat totally not pounding as if she had run a marathon.
I say you were a bell so you wouldn't surprise ponies, but I get the feeling you'd be silent even with a bell.
Maud said nothing.
My point exactly.
If you're going to be friends with Maud, you're going to need to get used to her popping out of nowhere, Verity said. And you're right, not even a bell will help you. I've known because I tried. Trixie poured magic to her eyes to see if there was anything anomalous about Maud's magical field. Although for the most part there wasn't anything specifically unique about her magical field, there was a little detail that did catch the attention of Trixie's magical sight. Maud was standing directly on a ley line. Did she learn how to use her earth-pulling magic to access ley lines and somehow travel through them? Twilight would be most certainly interested in studying the possibility of ley line travel.
Well, anyway, where's your little sister?
Trixie asked as she saw Icos coming out wearing her necklace.
Checking out the decorations was the last thing I needed to check out the list. I was thinking about taking Icos to have a proper outing on the town, and I figured your sister would like to join us.
Sweetie Bells is still beyond my shop, Rarity explained.
I do hope you have a lovely day.
You too, Icos said.
Bye, Rarity. Bye, Maud.
Crash! A pile of yellow-gray limbs fell into a pile again.
You two need to stop running into each other like this,
Trixie said with a sly grin. Icos come down a pile with a slight blush, followed by rumble.
Since you're here, would you like to come with us to see the other friends Icos made?
Trixie asked.
Oh, yeah, sure,
Rumble said, still recovering from the crash. The confirmation caused Icos' blush to deepen.
Well then, let's go, Tumble,
Trixie said, giving Rumble a teasing nickname. This called Rumble to blush. Trixie and the Foals arrived at Carousel Jewelers. The showmare knocked on the door. After a moment of waiting, the door opened to reveal Sweet Belle and Silver Spoon. Silver Spoon noticed Oculus, or rather, she noticed the black spots adoring her eye.
Oculus, your eye,
Silver said, pushing through to check on the sky changeling.
Are you okay? What happened?
Well, we were checking on the catering at Sweet Harvest Acres and...
Apple Bloom,
Silver Spoon Sweet Belle said, simultaneously cutting off Oculus. Oculus nodded.
I see. I was going to check on how the catering was doing, Trixie said. How would you three like to give Icos a proper tour at Ponyville? I originally came to ask if you wanted to come with us, but I still have something to do. And I'm sure Icos would prefer not to return to Sweet Harvest Acres.
We won't let you down, Miss Trixie,
Silver Spoon said.
It's just Trixie. Calling you Miss just makes me feel old, Trixie said. I'll like you to bring her back by dinner time if we don't cross paths until then.
The four foals nodded, and Trixie headed up to the farm. Once Trixie was out of earshot, the quartet of foals began considering where to go.
Let's go to the playground at the park,
Rumble suggested.
Do you want to sell Oculus around or just play at the park?
Sweet Belle questioned.
What's the difference? Rumble asked, causing the other three to face off. Oculus wincing as he hit her bruise.
You must take a cute corner,
Sweet Belle asked.
How is wanting to eat sweets any difference from wanting to play?
Rumble pointed out. Sweet Belle opened her mouth to retort, but close again he realized Rumble was right.
I have an idea,
Silver Spoon said.
Do you want to see my hideout?
You have a hideout? Devilly occult youngling said in unison.
What? You didn't think my mother is the only influence in my life, did you?
Silver said.
Come with me and I'll show you.
Quartet followed Silver Spoon to her house. They went to the backyard and opened the door to the basement and headed in.
So your hideout's your basement?
Sweet Belle asked skeptically.
Not quite,
Silver Spoon said as he fell along the wall. She found what she was searching for. A metal plate disguised the cement walls. She moved it out of the way to reveal what looked like a vault door. Uh-oh! Sorry, I was just thinking of following across here. She turned the wheel to open the latch, opening the door in the process.
This is my hideout. It's an old bomb shelter. We knew about it for a while, but one day I thought to make my little hideaway. The only rule is that I don't get too close to the door while we're inside.
Why not? Rumble asked.
Because I learned the hard way. The inside latch is broken,
Silver Spoon explained.
One day, I chose to see what it was like inside this bomb shelter. I closed the door, not knowing about the broken hatch, not telling my mother or aunt where I was. When I tried to get out, I couldn't. I started to panic. But the door is so thick, sound of my voice and pounding couldn't get through. I was stuck in there for 4 days before they found me. Was that the week you were out because of the flu? Sleepbell asked. I guess it wasn't really the flu, was it?
Ike asked rhetorically. I knew it, school, Rumble said proudly.
Yes, it was that week. No, it wasn't the flu,
Silver Spoon said. Curry Sleepbell and Ike's claims.
No, I wasn't just skipping school.
What I meant was, Rumble tumbled over his words.
I knew it wasn't because you were sick. It was the middle of spring when it happened. Being out for a week because of the flu is a bit much. I guess it did assume you were skipping at the time. Just because it wasn't flu season doesn't mean she couldn't catch the flu,
Ike explained.
And it was a bad case of the flu. She could have been sick for several days. I mean, I guess if you never got the flu vaccine, it could be that bad, Rumble said. But I'm sorry for assuming. And I never did get vaccinated,
Silver Spoon said, her ears folded back.
Does this mean your parents are anti-vaxxers? Of course not, Silver exclaimed. I'm just allergic to vaccines. In fact, my first vaccination as a foal is the reason why I need these glasses and why my coat and mane are gray. If you saw my foal pictures, you'd think I was Lyra Heartstring's daughter.
This news made Sleepbell feel ashamed for making that claim, although she didn't mean to assume. Knowing the truth made her feel guilty for sounding like she was accusing.
You used to look like Lyra's daughter? Ike asked. Well, Lyra is my mom's second cousin, but it's not close enough for me to look like her. In a way, it was a medical mishap that caused you to go gray and look more like my mom's daughter, Silver replied. Wait, you know who Lyra is?